Good morning, scholars. This is Mr. Bear, and I'm bringing you Skill 14A, which will talk about applications of systems. And this is going to be a day one of a 2-day series of lesson topic. So let's go ahead and get started. So we use a system of equations to solve problems that ask us for two quantities that are unknown. When this happens, we have to identify the unknown quantities and choose variables to represent them. After that, we're going to analyze the information that's given about the unknown quantities and determine what equations we could use to find those unknowns. And then once we have the system written, you'll use your elimination and substitution techniques to solve them. So let's start with practicing setting up a system. Savannah and her children went to a grocery store and she bought $22 worth of peaches and mangoes. Each peach costs $1.75 and each mango costs $1.50. She bought 6 more mangoes than peaches. Let's write a system of equations that can be used to determine the number of peaches and the number of mangoes that Savannah bought. We're going to start by defining our variables. So we want to know the number of peaches and the number of mangoes that were bought. So let's use P and M to represent those. And remember, they represent the number of peaches and the number of mangoes. Okay, now that we have that, we need to come up with our equations. So, looking through the sentences again, we know that we bought $22 worth of peaches and mangoes, so something will equal 22. Each peach costs $1.75, so 1.75p. And we're adding to that each mango costs $1.50. And there's our first equation. We also know that she bought 6 more mangoes than peaches. Okay, so our number of mangoes is going to be the peaches that we got plus 6 more, because we know that there's 6 more mangoes than there were peaches. So our mangoes has to be 6 more than the peaches. And that's going to be our system of equations. Okay? So now I want you to try one like this on your whiteboard. It says Jackson went into a movie theater and bought 8 bags of popcorn and 2 candies, costing a total of $58. Cooper went to the same movie theater and bought 4 bags of popcorn and 5 candies, costing a total of $49. So we're going to write a system of equations that can be used to determine the price of each bag of popcorn and the price of each candy. So I'm going to let P represent the price of popcorn. And we're going to let C represent the price of candy. All right. Now for our system, we first look at the fact that 8 bags of popcorn, so 8P, and 2 candies, so plus 2C, is going to give us 58. And then same thing with the other situation. We had 4 bags of popcorn, so 4P, 5 candies, so plus 5C, and that gives us $49. So that's how we would write that system. Here's a multiple choice. It says 2 high school teachers took their classes on a field trip to a museum. One class spent $154 for admission for 20 students and 30 adults. The other class spent $188 for admission for 24 students and 4 adults. Which of the following systems could be used to solve this? If we let a single student admission be S, so student admission is S, and adult admission is A. So thinking about this, they already defined the variables for us, so we don't have to do that. We know that we have 20 students, so that'd be 20S, and then 3 adults, so plus 3A, and that's going to give us $154 total. The other situation, we have $188 that were spent on 24 students, so 24S, 4 adults, 4A. So we'd add those and set it equal to 188. So it looks like our system of equations that we need is B. Okay. All right, let's go further, and now let's actually talk about how to solve these. So Mizea bought a pair of pants and a briefcase at a department store. The sum of the prices of the pants and the briefcase before sales tax was $130. Okay? If there is no sales tax on the pants and 9% sales tax on the briefcase, the total Mazea paid, including sales tax, was $136.75. What's the price P in dollars of the pants? So we're going to start by defining our variables. So even though they only want to know the price of the pants, and we know P will be price of pants, we also need to include the B for the price of the briefcase. We need to consider both of those when making our equations. So let's write our equations. First of all, we know the sum of the prices of the pants and the briefcase before sales tax was $130. So P plus B is $130. To figure out the other situation, there's no sales tax on the pants, so that'll still be P. But the briefcase was a 9% sales tax, so 9%. Remember, you pay 100% of the price plus 9% tax. So that together makes 109%, which is 1.09 as a decimal. So 1.09B, and that will equal 136.75. Okay, so those are our equations, and now we're going to use those equations, which I'm going to rewrite here. Alright, so just to verify everything, no sales tax on the pants, 9% sales tax on the briefcase. Alright, which method should we use? Well, it's really your personal preference, but I would say let's use elimination. And I'm going to use elimination because all things are lined up. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. So I have P plus B equals 130, and P plus 1.09B equals 136.75. Now, because we are trying to cancel out the briefcase, we're only asked, if you go back to the problem, remember they said what was the price of the pants. So we only care about the pants here. So I'm going to eliminate the B's by multiplying the top row by negative 1.09. Oops, not P, that's B. Now I'm going to use my calculator to figure out what the last part is. So we have 130 times 1.09, make it negative, negative 141.7. Bottom equation, leave it alone. And the B's cancel. And remember, that's a 1B. So 1.09 negative. If I add 1 to that, it gives me negative 0.09 P. And then I take my 141.7, make it negative, and add 136.75, and that gives me negative 4.95. Divide by negative 0.09. And we get $55 for the pants. So pants cost $55. Now, what if we wanted to also find the price of the briefcase? If we need to know that too, we just take our 55 plus our briefcase cost, which is 130. Subtract 55 from both sides, and we get $75 for the briefcase. Okay? All right, so now we have that solved, and $55 actually answers this question. Let's try another one here. So on this one, it says that it costs Emma P dollars to make each of her custom bracelets. So P is going to be the cost to make bracelets. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. which she sells for M dollars a piece. So M is the money made from each bracelet. Okay. Now, if it says she makes a profit of $60, so a profit of $60, we need to first kind of remind ourselves, what does profit mean? So profit is going to be your money made, also known as revenue, minus the costs. Okay? So our profit is $60. So we know something will equal 60. If she makes 5 of these bracelets, so that's going to be 5M minus the cost to make those 5 bracelets, 5P. She only makes a profit of $10 if she makes 5 bracelets but only sells 4 of them. So she still made the 5 bracelets, right? So that's 5P. But she only sold 4 of them, right? So 4 bracelets sold, so that's going to be 4M minus, she's still making 5 bracelets though. She only has a profit of $10. Okay, so that's going to be our system of equations. Now, the method that I would use to solve, in this case I would most definitely use elimination. So to do that, I'm going to try to cancel out those P's. Well, it asks us to find the how much does it cost Emma to make each bracelet. Okay, so the cost that Emma makes, that's the variable P. So actually, I'm going to eliminate the M variable. So to do that, I'm going to multiply the top equation by -4 and the bottom equation by 5. That's going to allow those M's to cancel out. So let's see, I get -20M plus 20P equals -240. Bottom equation, I get +20M minus 25P, and that's going to give me 50. So M's are gone. -5P equals, I think that's going to be -190. Now I just divide both sides by -5. And we get $38. Alright, so it costs Emma $38 to make each of the bracelets. Okay. Alright, so that should be enough info to help you with your IP. And if you have questions, make sure you reach out as always.